Welcome to Space Combat. We do use the quick sheets here, explaining everything we need to know for the space combat. And what I've changed in the tutorial we started, I get some 10 credits before, and I bought some primary shields now because we skipped a lot of the events and so on. So normally we'd have a little bit more equipment, so we have stands a little chance for the space combat with the primary shields here. Okay. So I entered here shield 5 and recharge of 2 to keep it fair. Okay, now the space combat is a loop that is repeating until we solved it or escape or get destroyed. And we have here the phase tracker. We have 7 phases: managing the timeline, solving objectives and repair, define targets and fire, enemy fire, boarding enemy ships, attempting to escape, and recharge. And then we start back at the beginning. You can cross mark where you are actually, but I guess it's so simple we can do it without that. So, first, manage the timeline. Okay, we have this letter here. It stands here for attack. No, evade. It is 1 point more difficult to hit enemy ships this turn. So the enemy vessels, the scout ships, hunter ships, trying to evade. We have to consider that if we start firing with laser weapons, if we want to destroy them, it's a little bit more difficult to hit them. Okay, um, this is what happens. There we have different stuff. We check that at the end, I guess. Okay, solve objectives and repair. Sometimes there are objectives like some tech check against, let's say, the number 10. This means we have to send crew, use crew to solve this objective. If I send, let's say, Mila with a tech level of 4, and I send Paul. No, Paul is bad. They are all bad. Paul have 1, so a tech level combined. So 4 plus 1 is 5, and you always add a single d6. So 5 plus 3, 8. That would solve a tech objective of level 8 or lower, but a tech objective of 10 wouldn't be solved. And if I solved all objectives here, then I won the space combat. I don't need to defeat the enemies in that case. But here we have no objective, so I just have to defeat them. Let's go to number 3. Oh, and I can repair. Instead of solving objectives, I can say I want to repair a ship system using tech levels of my crew members as well. It's explained here at this page as well. But everything is fine at the moment, so I don't repair anything. So let's go to define targets and fire. I can only shoot at one target, except here it's explained if you have a target system, you can aim to different targets. But in this case, I only shoot at one end. You can only fire 4 weapons at the same time. I anyway have only 3 lasers, so it doesn't matter at all. And a 4 would be a hit. 4 plus, so 4, 5, or 6. In this case, because they make some evade action, I need to roll 1 more, so 5 or 6 to hit them. And I missed all shots, but I can use crew members to reroll. Do I like that? Don't reroll. I don't use any crew member because I want to do something later on. So enemy fire. The enemy does the same, rolling a die against 4 plus. Because we do nothing special, we can evade if you're using man. Um, but you need some maneuver engines, and we don't have them, so I cannot try to evade. And here's some special rule: with a 4 plus, they hit, and if you roll a 6, they deal 3 additional damage, and they normally deal weapon damage 4, so they would deal 7 damage. So I hope they doesn't roll that good. 1 hit, 1 regular hit, meaning for damage points, I reduce my shield, which is 5 at the moment, down to 1. Okay, enemy fire is done. Boarding enemy ships. Let's board the enemy vessels. That's quite simple. Here, boarding enemy ships. We send. I read it. You may now board a single enemy ship if it has 3 or less energy, shield energy, and it only has a weapon shield of 3, so I can board it. And as many crew members as I like, because I can set my ship to autopilot. I send all 3, and Let's see. I need to combine their strongest attack attribute, melee or ranged. So I take ranged 6 plus melee 4 is 10 plus range 2 is 12. 12 points divided by 6 right here. For each 6 points, you get a single d6 for your dice pool. So our crew getting 2 dice for the enter combat dice pool, and the enemy vessel here set up the enemy dice pool. The enemies get a single d6 for their pool for every 2 crew members they have. But they have only 3, so it's not enough for 4, so it's just 1 die. If enemy board your ship, they always let 2 crew inside their own ship, of course, if they enter combat you. But this happens later. It's some timeline event that probably happened. Okay, so 1 die against 2, and it's quite simple. You roll both sets of dice. A 4 and a 5 counts as a hit, and a 6 counts as 2 hits. So nothing. Um, then negate damage. If I have a hit, I can negate 1 hit of the enemy if I like. I not must. Then take damage for each hit. For each enemy hit not negotiated, one of your participating crew members will lose 4 HP. So each hit of the enemy deal you damage, and you can choose who, of course. And if one crew member if one loses consciousness, you lose 1 die from your pool. So if I losing crew members, I losing dice. And dealing damage, it's the other way. You move 1 die from the enemy's pool for every 2 hits you achieved. A leftover single hit can be used to remove another die at the cost of sacrificing 3 health points. So if I have only 1 hit, I can still remove this dice, but then I need to deal a damage 3 health points, one of my own. Or if I roll a 6, that is counting as 2 hits, I can straight remove it. So at the first turn, nothing happened because we rolled too low. Then the dice getting back into the pool, and you loop again. So doing the same again, 3 turns. After 3 turns, we escape anyway. So let's roll the die again. This is 1 hit, and I say, okay, I give my tank 3 damage points to increase this by 1 hit. And so I can remove 1 die of the enemy vessel. And in this case, because they only have had 1 die, it's game over. I defeated all enemy ground troops on board of their ship, and the entire ship is eliminated. For such weak ships with weak shield and weak crew numbers, and if you have especially a strong combat team, it's sometimes more easy to enter them, especially if you have no strong weapons. So boarding combat is probably an option as long as your crew is strong enough. You can roll bad as well. So if the enemy roll a 6 and you roll just nothing, yeah, then you can run into problems as well. Okay, boarding enemy ships is over. You can only do it once, and you used your crew members. So you can only do it if you don't use your crew members for something different. And attempt to escape, you can try to roll dice and use unused crew members to make the dice check to escape from the space combat, but no, we don't want to escape. Recharge. Recharge is quite simple. You can now use your shield recharge value here, +2. So we come back from 1 to 3 shield points, and the same for the enemies, but they are already full, so nothing happened. Um, this was it. Then manage the timeline. We now at first was evade. Now we are here. Here nothing happened, so we can hit the enemies as usual. Objectives, no objectives at all at the moment. No systems we could repair. Define targets and fire. Yeah, we fire for the first one here. All die. In our case, sadly, a 6 won't deal additional damage, just standard, but at least 2 laser hits. So, a laser dealing 3 damage. That's defined in the weapon system. This means we reduce their shield here first to 0. And then we have, twice 3 is 6. This is enough to reduce the structure points to 0. So, hunter number 1 is destroyed. Then we are at enemy fire. One hunter is repeating fire, failing to hit anything. We do not board the ship this time. Attempt to escape, nothing. Recharge as usual. The ship is already full. we recharge back to 5, so we are at the full shield capacity now, and we are back managing the timeline. Now they do a attack. This is explained here. A means they attack right now, and of course later on again. So this turn they want to fire twice. Okay, he fires, hits. I cannot evade. I don't have maneuver engines, so he dealing us 4 damage points. But the shield is still strong, not strong, weakened, but no structure damage. In case, let's say he hit again, or is don't know. Maybe we already have just 1 shield energy left. If we then got hit again, then the 4 damage are reduced by 1 of the shield, so 3 damage points are left. We have now 0 shields, and our structure points get reduced by 3. And each time we take structure damage, we need to roll a d6 and need to check here what happens. So, uh, enemy fire. Here the result. 1 and 2, nothing happens, so no shield or weapon get defined, damaged. And in case of 5, one of your weapons, orange colored, gets damaged. You need to roll a d20 and count through all existing weapons. So you want to roll a d20 and then counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until we have 11. And oh, wait, see, at the moment, we have 3 different lasers, weapon system existing. So we roll a d20 and count 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This laser gets damaged. You can note a D or whatever there. It can be repaired, but you cannot use it now. If they hit it again, it's destroyed and you cannot repair it then anymore. Okay, just as example now. Oh, and by the way, you can only fire 4 ship systems. That's standard. So if you have up to 4 weapons, you can fire all 4. If you have, let's say I have 5 lasers, I can only fire 4. There's some special conditions explained later, but standard is 4 weapons your ship can use at maximum. Okay, and let's say I'm firing back. I still have my 3 lasers, and I roll good. 3 dice, 3 hits, 3 times 3 is enough to destroy the ship. It's 9 damage, and he only have a, what was it? A shield of 3 plus 6 is 9 damage, is exactly enough to kill him. Then the space combat is over, and what happens then is explained here. After space combat, repair all damaged systems. So if I have the damaged laser, I would repair it right now. Reload, refill your ship's weapons and ammo for free, because some weapon systems, let's say missiles, a high explosive, ammo 2. I can only fire them twice, and then they are empty for this space combat. If the space combat is over, they recharge automatically to maximum. This is not like with your crew weapons. If you have an assault rifle in your crew or whatever, and the ammo gets reduced, they don't refill automatically. You need to buy ammo. Only ship systems refilling automatically. It's important to know. Um, this was reload, experience points, and resources. We have here the flight number. Flight number was Hunter, number 8. I don't know that it's here. And here we have 20 XP, and it's also for credits. We get 20 XP and 20 credits. So we can already go here and write down I have had left 1, so I have 21 credits and 20 experience crew to level up the crew. And now the space combat is over, and we would going to create a location and also visit the location. But this comes up with another tutorial. Bye.